Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning or even good afternoon to you all. In here, I am Alma Fitria Milania. I would like to present about my research paper regarding the job satisfaction analysis on the job hunt website using text analytic method on XYZ company. The outline of this presentation: first, background; second, research flow; third, data collection; fourth, processing data; fifth, analysis; sixth, conclusion. Well, the background of this research paper. And because it's already known about the job satisfaction is related to many other significant and important issues of the organization. Because the job satisfaction itself is related for the organizational performances, organizational commitment, employee turnover, and employee productivity. Therefore, the satisfaction of employee is considered an important factor in success of the company, since the worker is perhaps the most important component. Why I can say it like that? Because as it's already been known that organization without the worker is not an organization. An organization can only run when there is a worker. In here, we will focus on just several areas, since the XYZ company is a Japanese multinational company that works in several countries, in several areas, and several lands. In here, we will focus on just three areas. First is the North America, Europe, and Asia. And then the data that we compile is from the job hunt website, from the Indeed, Kununu, Glassdoor, and JobStreet. Like what I've said before, that the data is just from the three areas that we will focus on from this research paper. Yeah, this is an exploratory research. It's attempting to discover how the dimensions of this job satisfaction are significantly related to the job satisfaction itself. And the researcher itself will also focus on the external factors that affect the job satisfaction. So it is needed to analyze with research that has been done before. Thus, from the result of the study, it can be proposed on how to minimize the negative factors that affecting the job satisfaction. And as the recommendation, there is some improvement program that can be made by the organization, such as policies, and then how to create motivate or supportive environment. And then for the research flow, there is first we need to identify the problem, and then we can conduct literature review from the inductive and deductive review, and then we can web crawl to get the data from the job hunt website. And then because the data that we get or we retrieve from the web is raw, so we need to clean and group the data based on our grouping, and then we need to tabulate the data. And then after we have cleaned it up and grouped the data, we can analyze data using text analytics. And the last is about making conclusion and suggestion as a recommendation for this research. Well, in here, as you can be seen, there is a web crawling software to get or retrieve the data from the job hunt website. And as you can see, that the data is raw, and then we just need to process it to clean the data, and then grouping the word, grouping the review from the job hunt website. Yeah, here is the data that we retrieve. It's still raw, and then from there, we are clean the data and then group, and based on the grouping the data, we found that there is 4 factors that affecting the job satisfactions. And in here, we group into 4 factors. The first is financial, and then physiological factors, social, and the physical factors. As you can be seen on the screen, that the highest factor for the job satisfaction is the physiological factors. In here, physiological factors is in 37%, and then there is physical factors 33%, and followed by social factors 21%, and then the last one is financial factors that is 9%. Yeah, From this, the physiological factors, it says that individuals generally prefer the jobs that give them the opportunity to use their skills, abilities, and provide a variety of tasks, freedom, and feedback. And based on Pakotik and Babik 2013, found that the workers who work under difficult working conditions are dissatisfied with this factor. So it is very important for the company or organization to make some supportive environment so that the workers motivate and very gladly to do the job because it's affect their psychological greatly. And then there is physical factors where in Japanese multinational corporation, or it's usually called as MNCs, tends to bring the Japanese management that does not fit in emerging market, and departure from it has generally been seen to have a positive influence on the performance, such as a shift time and then human resource management. Because, like I've said before, that there's research only focused on several areas such as Asia, Europe, and then North America. But this Japanese multinational corporation usually use this Japanese management that actually do not fit with the culture or the work culture that's on that place on that area. So that is why this physical factor is greatly impact the workers in there. And then the next one is about social factors. Yeah, the relationship between the employee is one of the factors that influence the enthusiasm of employee at work. Because if the relationship between employee is bad, and it will create some an awkward environment or awkward condition, so that it can lower the enthusiasm of the employee going to work. And it means that the relation can be the advantage and disadvantage for the organization depends on the relationship condition. So that is why the organization need to monitor the relationship condition between each worker, each employee, so they can know what needs to be improved. Because, well, the relationship between employee is very important in here because it affects the enthusiasm of the employee itself. And then next is about financial factor. Yeah, financial was the one of the factor that influenced the job satisfaction, and also one of the reason why the employee going to work and still work under difficult conditions such as a salary, bonuses, and rewards. Because they work for money. So that is why in here financial factor is also one of the factors that can affect the job satisfaction of the employee. If the employee has a higher salary, then the job satisfaction is also high, even though their work is difficult or they have a pressure from their higher up. So that is why giving salary, bonuses, and rewards is very recommended for the employee so that it can give a motivation and some appreciation for the workers that they already done a good job for their work. And then here is the conceptual model that we already made from this research. So basically, from those the raw data that we already get from the job hunt website, and then we clean it up and group it into the four factors that already identified before, such as financial, psychological, social factors, and physical factors. And from those, we have a keywords for the financial factors. There is good rewards and low pay. As I said before, the higher the rewards, the higher the salary, the higher the bonuses, it can give a satisfaction for the employee for the job itself. And low pay means that they will like do the work absently because they pay low, and then it can affect the satisfaction of the employee towards their job. And then for the psychological factors, the keywords that we retrieve is such as a good company, fun workplace, stressful, and then good job culture. Yeah, basically, these physical factors is regarding how it's affect the human health, humans' conditions, and in here, a fun workplace and a good job culture affects them and how they enthusiasm, how they want to do work because they like looking forward to meeting their friends, to meeting because the culture make them support them to go to the work. And for the stressful, because when the work is a pretty full stressful and there is a lot of pressure, that the employee it will lower the satisfaction of the employee towards their job, because why I need to go to work if the work is so stressful? There is a pressure from everyone higher up. So yeah, it will affect the job satisfaction. And then next is about social factors. The keyword that we already found is about upward teamwork and good or great colleges. Yeah, great colleges. It's mean that there is a good relationship between the employees. Then it will make them looking forward to meet their friends in the workplace. But if there is poor teamwork, then it's mean that there is a wrong communication, wrong there is misunderstanding between those, and it will make the teamwork doesn't work. So the employee will have lower their satisfaction towards their job, because like why they need to do that, because the teamwork on those teams is pretty bad, and it will affect the output of the teamwork itself, and it will lower their satisfaction. And then the last one is about the physical factors. There is good job management, bad job management, over harassment, bad shift time, and then too Japanese oriented, and the lack of manpower. Like the analysis before, like I've said before on the analysis, that the Japanese multinational company usually still adopted the Japanese management, where in the Japanese management, the shift time is took longer than the usual shift that implemented by others corporate. And then because Japanese is always about effective and efficient, I think that the lower the manpower is good, because they will lower the output, or the lower lower about the output of the money of the company itself. So they will have so much advantage, so much benefits in the term of money. But no, it's affect the satisfaction of the employee itself. And also, there is a common where the power harassment happened in the corporate. Yeah, there is a review regarding the power harassment itself. That it will make the employee in there has a lower satisfaction towards their job. And if it's lower job satisfaction, it will affect on the job dissatisfaction, where there will be a turnover, absenteeism, tardiness, and probably accidents, work accidents, and then the lack of interest or motivations. Then it will mean if there is job satisfaction, it will lower the productivity, lower the performances of the organization or the corporate. But if there is higher job satisfaction, well, it will affect about the commitment regarding the organization, and then the employee loyalty and the productivity will be higher, and then good organizational performances. And then there is also efficient and effectiveness, because there is higher job satisfaction, then they will work gladly towards their job, and then will be sense of ownership and loyalty of the employee towards their corporate, towards their job, towards their organization. And then for the suggestion, the first thing that can be made is about rearranging the job description and working hour, because sometimes that we don't realize, the company not realize that the job description is pretty obvious, demanding, or the working hour is not normal like the others corporate, and it's made them under pressure, because they also need time to rest, need time to have fun, time for their family. And then second, giving rewards. Giving rewards can be some satisfaction for them, that they already work hard for their job, for their company, so they deserve the reward from the company, and it will higher up their satisfaction towards their job. And then third is about managing human resources, because like I've said before, there is some problem regarding the lack of manpower. I think managing human resources is very important, because when we have optimum human resources, we can use those resources to make the productivity of our company higher, and then it must be efficient and effective for the company. And then fourth is about the monitoring the abuse of power and bullying. Well, the monitoring is very good because it will give a justice to the employee that there will be no abuse of power and no bullying from each employee. So they will have some supportive, fun workplace, fun condition, fun environment for the employee to work at. And then fifth is about training and workshop. Yeah, training and workshop give not only skills, knowledge for the employee, but also it gives them some satisfactions that the employee think that the company is not only thinking about the output that they can get from the employee, but the employee can also get a benefits from the company, such as a training and workshop that can enhance the knowledge and the skills. And then six is about the adaptive management style. They have said before because the Japanese multinational company always adapt about the Japanese management, but it's actually the management that on the corporate need to be adaptive in each area. Yes, maybe this management is not cannot be adaptive in this area because the culture on this area is different. So we need this adaptive management style to be implemented in each area of the Japanese multinational company itself. And then the conclusion that can be made is based on the result of the research and data analysis in the previous chapters. Here is the following conclusion that can be made. First is about the element that affect the job satisfaction, including several factors using a iceberg theory, namely, first, the financial factors include the rewards and pay, and then physiological factors are the atmosphere of the work, the culture, and then the condition while doing the work, and then third, social factors include the teamwork and the collegiate. Fourth, the physical factors, the job management, management style, and how the human resource management works in that corporate or the company. Second is regarding there is several problems that will arise if there is job dissatisfaction or turnover, absenteeism, tardiness, and work accidents, and lack of interest or motivation of the employee towards their job. And it means it will lower the productivity of the company. Third, things that can be done by organization to minimize job dissatisfaction are rearranging job description and working hours, providing rewards according to employee performance, and then managing human resources, monitoring abuse of power, holding training and workshop, and adaptive management styles. I think that's all for me to present my research paper regarding the job satisfactions towards the XYZ company, Japanese multinational corporate. That's all. Thank you for listening and watching this video for my presentation. Thank you.